there's so many nuances to modeling that people don't think about. So what you were saying, before a photo shoot or before a casting or whatever, you have to do some research. You have to look at the brand, see what their vision is, what their kind of style is. And then showing up for a photo shoot, there's so many things which you work on yourself to be able to get there. So I have to work on my confidence. I have to be more confident in myself than any other other person. Because once you're behind the camera, every small thing is going to be highlighted. And sometimes in the industry, some people are not so kind. So you could be going to a shoot and someone is there like sucking that stomach. You can't have that kind of stomach. Or they'll be like, oh, your skin, oh my God, what's going on? It looks terrible. You're, oh my God, too many people. And you have to work on yourself and learn to be confident in yourself, to be like, you know what, this is me. I think I'm good the way I am and I'll do my best, because that's the most you can do.
Hello, welcome to the Lioness Grotto podcast. My name is Anan Joroge. In this podcast, we talk about all things beauty, fashion, health, wellness, entrepreneurship, money, and life. All the things we need to know as Black women navigating life and achieving our limitless self. We share, we encourage, we motivate. After all, I believe you shouldn't have to have every experience in order to learn. On this episode, we are talking to some beautiful women. You're going to be jealous. I always say I love beauty in all its forms. And joining me today are beautiful, brilliant. You probably didn't expect that, but they are. Some of the smartest women I've actually met, and I've learned a lot from them. We are going to be talking about career as a model. Haha, you didn't expect that. Joining me today is Maria, Makena, and Lisa. So ladies, starting with Lisa, please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Hi guys, my name is Lisa Wanjiku. I'm a fashion model. I also do part of the commercial modeling in Kenya. And I'm just a young girl figuring out the modeling industry and really just loving the modeling industry as it is and actually trying to make it better in the ways I can. And I just love it here, guys.
I'm Makena, 25 years old, and I work as a model. That's the main thing I do right now. But I am also a classical pianist and a medical historian and an animal lover. I love all animals as all they come. So yes, that is me.
Maria?
Hi, I'm Maria. I'm a mom, a model, a daughter. I am a fashion model and basically an all-round model with 9 years of experience in the modeling industry, 6 years professionally. I'm here to give you all the tea.
Ooh, so guys, as you can see, I know I've worked with all of them personally, and I don't just as a brand, whether a beauty. Now I can talk about the brand since we are here and how I've met them. We believe in being limitless as a woman. We embrace the woman as she is fully, because I feel like so often, especially as African women, it's all women, but I feel more in the African culture, you need to pick certain things of yourselves to be and not others. Yes. We're told so often, if you're powerful, then you shouldn't claim to be beautiful, one or the other. If you're strong, then your femininity shouldn't come into play. But they're not mutually exclusive. So we say being limitless is all those things are part of who you are, which is why I think Makena and Maria, we've talked about this when you guys came to first start doing the modeling for Waidera, because I met each one of you individually. Yeah. Lisa, I just met you in the last shoot, but it's because Maria recommended you.
Yes.
Because usually I have to meet every model. This one was last minute. And I knew Maria already knew what we were looking for, which is why I stressed at the beginning, it's everything. It's not just modeling. Yeah. You guys are also really smart women. And I have learned a lot from you just observing. And one of the things I have learned, which is probably a misconception for so many people, it's you just take a pretty picture. Is because that's yes, and I appreciate beauty. I love looking at magazines. I love runway mode, but I don't think I had ever thought about how much goes into it until I started a brand and I observed. So, for those people who think it's just a pretty picture, what does it take? Lisa, we'll start with you. What do you tell them?
So I think what we all believe in when you see models especially is you're pretty. So it's just you being in front of the camera and just doing your thing and you're out.
And you're just
I
pretty.
just smile
Yeah.
and I'm out and I'm done. But guys, no. There's the part where you don't see where I'm actually getting to understand the brand's vision and bringing it to life. It might be something that you're not used to. It might be a new concept. So the brand is actually sharing this with you because they believe you can actually deliver it.
Yes, because you're trying to bring something else to life.
Exactly. So it's you actually sitting down with yourself. You're like, okay, now we're expected to do this and this. It's not just me going in front of the camera and smiling. No, I have to bring out the concept. And also, at the same time, you just want to make sure that you're delivering, you're on point, and you also need the energy, guys. Models need the energy.
Yes,
it might look like we smile all the time, but we're actually humans like all of you. We just need energy, support. Because now we're also part of the creative industry. We put in a lot of money, energy, so we also need to rest so that we can actually be better and just grow ourselves individually, because apart from being a model, we have lives away from modeling, you know? So yeah.
Okay, Makena?
So I think with modeling, people think that it's, again, what you said, that it's just something you just come and you're just pretty and that's it. But I would like to challenge some people to get on a runway, someone who's never done modeling before, not in the industry, to challenge them to get on a runway with 6-7 inch heels and walk with confidence, power, and be able to do that.
I'll
and
fall on my face.
not fall and feel confident and bring the clothes forward and embody the clothes. There's so many nuances to modeling that people don't think about. So what you were saying before a photo shoot or before casting or whatever, you have to do some research. You have to look at the brand, see what their vision is, what their kind of style is. And then showing up for a photo shoot, there's so many things which you work on yourself to be able to get there. So I have to work on my confidence. I have to be more confident in myself than any other other person. Because once you're behind the camera, every small thing is going to be highlighted. And sometimes in the industry, some people are not so kind. So you could be going to a shoot and someone is there like sucking that stomach. You can't have that kind of stomach. Or they'll be like, oh, your skin, oh my God, what's going on? It looks terrible. Oh my God, too many pimples. And you have to work on yourself and learn to be confident in yourself, to be like, you know what, this is me. I think I'm good the way I am and I'll do my best, because that's the most you can do. But there's so much that goes on behind. And very importantly, it's a physical job. It takes energy.
Taxing.
Yes. A day of a photo shoot, I'm having fun and I love it. But by the time you're getting to 5 p.m. at the end, my legs are killing me because you've been standing, moving for hours.
And sometimes in very uncomfortable positions.
Yeah, you have to hold the pose. They're like, hold it. And you're there, you're like shaking. You're like, oh my God. But then you can't show it on your face as well.
It can't show.
You can't show. So there's so many things that go behind it that I think people don't appreciate and don't think about unless they were put in our shoes and they'll realize like, oh gosh, this is actually kind of hard. Like this is not.
And that's like I said, I've got an appreciation for it because again, I'm just a brand owner, but occasionally I have to sit there and take a picture. And I was like, no. Every time, like even yesterday, I was having a shoot with just one model who has just come from the US. And Sharon, you guys, the stylist, literally said, oh, you need to take one. I'm like, I do not have the energy today to be made up or dressed up or take a picture. Yes. It's okay. I don't have to do it today. Yeah. What about you, Maria?
For me, I'd say it's not about the glamour and glitz. There's more behind what you see. Because first, as a model, your appearance is what matters. You need to show up. You need to take care of your skin. There's a certain body that is being considered as a model body type. you need to work out. People do not want to see bumps on your stomach. People expect you to be as lean as possible. Snatched, you know. And this takes a lot of work because you need to have a certain workout routine, and it's really hectic. Again, sometimes you have to starve yourself dieting because you want to show up for at least more bookings. But you see, the thing is, we are also human, as Lisa said. Sometimes I really don't feel like taking photos, but I've been booked. I have to show up. This is the concept. I have to bring myself in it. Yeah, it's a lot of the inner me coming out because this is the brand I'm working for. I have to deliver. Yeah. Yes, it's not just about pose, smile, and that's it.
And I'm gonna go. You brought it up about what you eat, the exercise, and the modeling world has always been talking about this body the toxicity of it. So you have to starve yourself, which it's not very healthy.
It is not.
How do you guys navigate that and that industry that is so physical? You have to look a certain way, you have to be a certain way, and still maintain your sanity.
Yes.
How do you do it, Lisa?
Okay, so what I've come to learn in this modeling industry is we all have all body types. I might be a petite, I might have a friend who's a plus size, so we're all different. So what I've gotten to learn is our body metabolism really works differently. So now for me, I can eat. I eat. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I eat. I'm a model, but I eat. I eat, but my metabolism is really high. So even if I eat, I just move more.
Yeah.
I put in the energy into movement, even if I don't really think of it, but I do move my body. I might be walking just somewhere. I didn't deliberately plan to go to that place walking, but that energy that I'm using, the food that I've eaten, it's being used during that time.
So movement.
Yeah. So actually getting to learn that this is my body and it works differently. I can eat anything and still maintain the same body. And also remembering that even as you eat, you need to have balance.
Yeah, it's very true.
Because a good example is when I'm having fries in the house. We have this thing where you have a rainbow plate. A rainbow plate is you have your fries, you have your lettuce, your salad, and you can have ketchup or chicken or whatever protein you want to have, So that balance, it really helps the body. As much as my metabolism is high,
you still have to.
I need to maintain
the nutrition you put into your body.
In my body, like the liver, the kidneys, they need to function normally because it's all been seen in my face,
your face,
in my skin. Taking supplements. So just understand your body. Don't fall into the I need to be this size.
I need to be thin and I need to be this
have
size.
a small waist. No, darling, you don't need to have a small waist. You just need to understand your body and how it works.
And bring out that body to work for you and the confidence in it.
Yeah, true.
Yes. What about you, Makena? Have you been in a situation where you felt you needed to not eat something or starve yourself or work out harder?
I think it's not necessarily that they won't say it directly, but it's more of a thing. For example, when I was working in Milan, when they were taking my hip measurements, they take
as tiny as you are.
Yeah, they take the measurement and you can just hear that slight comment like, oh, hips, oh, okay. And it's just a small thing that you hear.
Oh, wow.
But if there's anything I've learned is work on what you can work and learn to accept the things that you can't. True. Because in the industry, I've been told many times I'm too short, I'm too old, and different things like that.
At 25,
and your skin,
you're too old?
Yes. And then also for skin, I had really bad acne last year. So I had to tell myself, if I sit there stressing about my height, if I sit there stressing because my hip measurement is 1 inch too big, there's some things where you actually can't. I cannot make my hips any smaller. It will be physically impossible. So you have to learn to just be like, let me work on the things I can. So I will work out to keep myself fit. And so that at the end of the shoot, I'm not dying at the end of a runway. I'm not feeling, oh my gosh.
Like you're going to faint.
But I think one thing we need to learn as models is to work out and eat healthy for your health, not for the aesthetic.
Yes.
And I think that's also something that people who don't work in this industry don't understand, is that at the end of the day, when I go home, my body is my job. So I can't clock out.
You can't clock
I'm not
out because your
clocking
body
out.
is your job.
So what I'm eating for dinner a day I'm not working is part of my job. Me fixing my hair, taking care of my hair, my nails, my skin is my job. So if you're in an office, you can kind of clock out, be like, okay, I'm not going to think about these slides. I'm not going to think about the emails anymore. I'm just going to go to bed, do whatever, like watch my movie, whatever. But sometimes you can't clock out from that. So I think that's something which you have to think about. But most important thing is, I think, being just confident in yourself, the way you are, being like, okay, if I end up gaining a bit more weight, just be confident in where you are and find the niche that will accept where you are, because there's no point in me, if I end up gaining 10 kilos or whatever, me going to Paris and then trying to go for a casting for Versace in whatever. There's no point in making yourself feel fit in, rather than let me go and work in Spain where I can do this shoot with this brand where it doesn't matter. It's more inclusive. So I think it's more find your niche and learn to accept yourself the way you are, because starving and all of that, you see it all the time, drugs, starving, everything, so that you don't gain weight. But it's just not the way to live your life.
Where if us as regular women, with the social media and whatever, you don't, it's not even your job, and women are still struggling to be a certain way. Where do you find that strength to actually be okay with your body, where your body is being judged and criticized every single day? That's your job. Somebody else is telling you, oh, your hips are inch off. I'm like, oh, that's it?
No. Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy, and you have to keep thinking about that in the industry, because there'll always be someone with a smaller waist. True. There'll always be someone taller. There'll always be someone more this, more that. But you have to learn that people will choose me for me. The way I am. People are choosing me for me. They, even if this brand, they can find anyone with a 22-inch waist. I'm sure they can, but that's
they
not
can
me.
Actually, yes.
But they're choosing me for me. And there's a reason why. So,
As simple as that.
Yeah. What about you, Maria?
I think I'd go with what Lisa said, understanding your body. And also as models, it is a skill to learn to accept and absorb criticism, because that is what we get a lot of times.
I can't even imagine what's that like.
People will be like, oh, she's so dark, she's so skinny, her hips. It's not what she looks like in pictures,
Oh, Lord.
So you need to have the skill and ability to take in criticism positively. So for me, I do a lot of meditation. That is one of the things that I have to accept myself the way I am. There was this one time, I'll give you an example. It was a mother agency from abroad. So I sent my measurements and I was told that I'm supposed to cut on my hips. It was I was size 38. They needed a 34. How am I supposed
usually
to
their
do
cutoff.
For
The 34 is usually a lot of the
so
time.
34 is
inches,
usually on the hips.
Yeah, that is why I do the line. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to strain my body. I've strained enough as a model. Let me just accept it the way it is. I'm going to book jobs with brands that will accept me the way I am, because I'm already putting much more effort. I'm working out at least an hour a day. I'm meditating. I've already invested in myself. So the best thing, accept yourself the way you are. Have your food. I also eat a lot, the way Lisa said. I eat a lot, but yes, I don't gain as fast. But I think people should understand models are humans, We also want to binge eat every other time we get that chance. But people will be like, no, you're a model. You're not supposed to eat so much. You're supposed to snack. You're supposed to have greens.
Wait. People are talking about what you should eat.
Yes.
Yeah, they tell you literally.
Yes.
They're like, I want to have pizza and chicken wings. But like, yo, bro, you need to have a salad. You're a model. I'm like, guys, I'm a human being, just like you guys are going to have pizzas and chicken. I'm going to have the same thing you're having.
It's true. And that ends up rubbing, you rub shoulders off the wrong way, because people are expecting you to turn out the way they want you to be. But no, this is not how you're meant to be. So basically, understand your body and work out, keep healthy. Just work out, not the strenuous workout. Do not starve yourself. Just eat as much as you can, but in a healthy way.
In a healthy way.
Yes, work out, meditate. Just give your body grace. If you're not feeling like it's fine.
It is okay.
A day
rest. Basically, be compassionate with yourself and give yourself grace.
Exactly.
Like anything else.
Literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know all of you love what you do. I've seen you guys work, and all of you have the option to actually go do anything else. Makena, you're a pianist. You even have an Ivy League education. You need to talk about that. Yes. So modeling for you is a choice.
It is.
And it's because you love it.
It is.
What is inspired you to go into modeling?
So my modeling journey, I would say, started quite young, because my mom was in the fashion industry and that kind of thing when she was younger. So actually, the first time I did a runway was, well, I wouldn't count it as a runway, but I was at the Miss Kenya a while back. I was probably 8 years old, and my mom was there. And they were like, "Oh, do you want to go backstage?" So I went backstage, and I just saw the hectic, like people getting dressed everywhere, like whatever. And then they asked me randomly, they're like, "Do you want to walk on the runway?" And I was just like, hell yeah.
At 8.
Yeah, I do. So I went down that little runway, whatever. And I remember that was the first time I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually so much fun. And then later on in life, when I was about 16, I started doing quite a few photo shoots and here and there doing some stuff. And then I went to university. So I actually wanted to be a plastic surgeon when I went to university. So I went there, started on my pre-med. And then like a year and a half, 2 years in, I was just like, man, is this really how I want to live the rest of my life? Like, first of all, I don't want to take life that seriously. I don't know. I know some people that's a bit controversial, but I'm like, listen, as a model, if you have a bad day, maybe you'll fall on a runway, maybe you'll have a bad picture, but a bad day as a doctor, someone dies.
Somebody,
And I was just like, I don't know if I, personally, if I can take that pressure, that constant high cortisol level every day. I don't think I can do that. And I had a conversation with my friend Ruhi. So shout out to her. I really credit her for having this conversation with me. She said, Makena, what is something you sit down and you do and you're like, I can't believe people get paid to do this. You know, and you're like, I can't believe, like, I would do it for free, but like, I'm like, I can't believe people get paid to do this. And I was like, oh, I love modeling so much. But I was like, okay, but it'll be my side thing. I'll do a 9 to 5, or I'll be a doctor or a researcher, and then I'll do modeling on the side. And then she sat me down and was like, why can't that be what you do? Like, why can't that be your main thing?
Not just a side thing.
Yes. And I sat down and I was like, wait, why not? Because it's so ingrained in your brain that this is a side thing. It's a hobby, whatever.
Because we're not supposed to do that. And especially as Africans.
Yes.
Those are not real jobs.
It's not a real job. Exactly.
Exactly.
So I just realized, like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and I'm going to be a model and I'm going to do that. So then once I graduated 2020, it was a bit difficult to be doing it then, but I was like, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. And I would say it's the passion and the love for doing it that keeps me going. And I get a lot of input that let it go, move on, do something else.
Just
Family.
Okay.
Not gonna add to anyone, but
I was wondering if is it friends?
no, family. My friends are like, go for it, go get it.
Yeah.
You got your back. But I would say with some family, like there's more of that thing, like you need to get something else like that's more sustainable, or like you need to do something where you're doing something every day. Because you know the thing with modeling is
you could be so busy. And then all of it, and then
1 week you have nothing. Maybe 1 week you have like 5 shoots. Then 2 weeks you have nothing. But I'm still sustaining myself, I would say. But yeah, there's that idea that if you're living, you have to be productive every day in a certain way. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm sort of fighting with now. But I think it's just my love for it and I don't know if it's me being delusional, but I believe in myself a bit too much with the modeling. I'm just like, I'm going to make it. You know, I'm like, I'm going to make it.
And that's part of making it in anything is actually the belief in yourself. Because nothing comes easy.
Yes.
And we need to recognize that. The belief in yourself is actually what pushes you and keeps you going. And I can tell you that as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It is. There are days I'm like,
no, do I really?
No, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Yes. So Lisa, I know we had a brief conversation when you were doing the shoot last time and you said for you started in university. Yeah. How did you get started and what inspired you to take it further?
Okay, so if I remember very well, I started in high school.
It was actually high school?
Yeah, it was high school, but I didn't take it seriously.
Okay.
Because I remember we had a fashion show in school and people were just picking out, if I may call them, just models, but students. So like, hi, I want to style you, come. And I really wanted to
be in a posh high school. You're even styling each other.
I know, right? No, okay, in terms of students just having the passion of styling.
Passion for styling.
You can just go get a banana leaf and just style it into something.
Into something. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember,
and really good actually for high school to be encouraging that. Because we don't.
We don't have that, but at least for the new syllabus, they have that.
Okay.
So I remember I was just there like, should I model? But at the same time, I knew that the friends who were just like, Lisa, you should model. Like, just go model. But then I didn't have a stylist. I was just like, you know what? It's never that serious, guys. I'll just watch the rest. And then I let it go. I start university. So I've been in university during that time for like 4 months since I joined. And then we had a Miss University in the university that I was at the end of the year. And I was a fresher. They call them fresher. I was just
freshman,
new. Yeah,
yes.
freshman. And I just saw the poster when I was working in school, just like, okay, this is interesting. But let me act like I didn't see that. So I went home and I told my mom, I think I should just try for this Miss University. And she's like, yeah, Abu, yeah, we got to sign up.
Oh,
Well,
your mom was like
nice
all about
Yeah,
it. That's
I-
amazing.
And I was just praying, no, you're supposed to say no, just don't do it. But no, you're doing the opposite.
You're actually
Quite
doing
the
the
opposite.
opposite.
You're supposed to say no. But no, she's like, yeah. Well, where are you sending your name and your details? I was like, girl, we're not going to do that. And I remember, oh my God, I sat with that. I had a conversation with myself for like 2 days. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just do it for fun. Then I signed up, joined the group. We were going for trainings for like 3 weeks. And then during the trip, I was so shy because I remember it was during COVID. So I'd wear my mask and not talk to anyone.
Like,
go for
hide my
training.
face.
Yeah, hide my face. Exactly, hide my face. After I'm done, I go home. So we did that for 3 weeks, and then we got to the D-Day now. And then I remember I didn't have a mask, obviously, because I was getting makeup done. And my classmates were like, oh, Lisa, this is how you look. No way.
Wait, you had a mask the whole time.
Because it was during COVID time, so I
Right.
never used to remove my mask. When I'm done, I go home.
Yeah.
So they were just like, Lisa. I was like, guys, relax. I don't need that attention because I didn't like attention also. So I went through the gala, did everything. I was so tired. I remember during the last walk we did, I was just like, I want to go home. Because I remember, because it's a pageant.
Yeah.
So you're expected to stand in a specific way, wearing 6-inch heels.
Yes.
So I'm just like, okay, I need to go home. Can you just answer me now? I just want to go home, guys. I'm tired. And then people are just shouting, they're like chanting this number to win this number. And I was just like, okay, guys, can you just announce? And they're like, tag number, because I was tag number 7. I wasn't even there, honestly, because I was tired. I was just like,
I need to go home.
Yeah.
oh, wait, that's me.
Oh, wait.
Oh, damn. Because I
So
even,
you won it.
yeah, I won it. Because I even cried. I was just like, oh, guys, I was just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
But now I'm in front of everyone. And then I just took that as my sign.
Okay.
And then from there, I was the Miss for 1 year. And during that time, I just got to explore the industry. And thanks to Maria, God sent, honestly. Because I remember it was just so random when I met her at the mall. And
Wait, you just met her the mall?
yeah, I was at Sarit Center and I passed by somewhere and just met her and just like, hi, yeah, I'm Lisa. And we started a conversation. And let me just tell you, the universe works in the most mysterious way and you'll be in alignment.
Yeah.
Because the things I didn't understand at that time and just getting to understand, oh, there's a portfolio. There are headshots.
Oh, wait, what are those?
Oh, a portfolio. It's where you get...
No, I know what it is.
yes,
yeah,
now
now you're like,
in my head, I'm like,
you're like, what
I'm
is
like,
that?
Oh, yeah, okay, that's new. Okay. And then I got to set up my portfolio. I got guidance from Maria. And it was just so... It was just a 50-50 because at the same time, I was in school. So most of my focus is in school. 90% in school, do my assignments, submit them, just school work. And then now after I was done with school, when I was actually in school almost finishing, I started understanding, oh, this is what happens in the industry. So actually getting to understand, oh, like there's something, like you'd watch the shows. That's where we usually get our inspo from the shows, not even from your own country. But now actually now I started my modeling journey now in university. Even before I graduated, I was like, I think I know my purpose.
This is what I want to do.
Yeah. And then it's so beautiful because my mom was just next to me during this journey. The whole time we're with her. Because when I get to understand something, I share it with her. She's like, oh, it makes sense. When I tell her I'm going for an audition, I don't have fare. She's like, yeah, go.
Yeah.
Like you go for the audition, you leave late. She understands. She's actually worried. She's like, are you okay?
Yeah.
You need to come home because it's
So she supported it.
even now.
Yeah.
she
Well, I
supports.
think part of especially in our culture, we're still trying to it's not a real job. I think you having your mother, because a lot of models, and I've had this discussion, their parents are like,
Yeah.
Get
need
a
a
real
job.
Yeah.
You need to
Get a
get
real
nine to
job.
five.
you need a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you graduated, your mom is there supporting you, and you decide this is it.
But it was so funny because I remember last year, it's like I hit a dead end. I was just like, you know what? I can just let go of this career because I was so tired. And I was having this conversation with one of my friends who's in the industry. And he told me, you actually thought you're the only one who felt the impact. Last year, it wasn't that good for everyone in the modeling
So that-
industry.
okay.
That's actually so right.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, so I was in delusional, first of all. And I took it as my sign because I had so many opportunities to just say, let me just let go of this and just pursue a 9 to 5. But then, if I'm God Himself was just like, no, where are you going? No, you need to stay here. You're not going nowhere. Like, as hard as it got, I was just like, okay, I'm here. I need a sign.
this.
I used to tell him, I need a sign. Like, just give me a sign.
Something.
Because I am done. Like, I am done. I got a sign, funny enough, last year, and it was just like, okay,
We're staying.
okay, we're doing this. I trust you. Yeah.
Yep.
So from then, it's been beautiful because even if when you don't get jobs, you reflect back, you're like, okay, there are brands that actually believed in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of being in the creative and industry. There are days you'll be booked a whole week, and there are days where you won't be booked. And now you just need to find the balance.
Where is the balance?
You need to find the balance.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful because that's your story. Own it.
Yeah.
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 You know, own it. It's not at you guys. And that's what I try and just show people on Instagram. There are days where I'll be booked. There are days where I'm just running errands in the supermarket. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not
I'm a serial errands
Yeah.
runner.
yeah, I'm hungry. Exactly. So it's so beautiful because I get to embody being a model because I am the model.
Yeah.
And this is still Lisa who goes to the supermarket.
To the supermarket and does everything
and
else.
still talks to her friends and has conversations.
Right.
And also getting to what I really, really got to understand and I actually identified it as my vision and just my journey, part of my journey, was brands that I worked with this year and last year, and they'd give me a vision, and I'm just like, wow, yeah, I can actually deliver.
I can deliver this.
Yeah, it's actually they give you like they sit down with you like, so this is what we're planning to do. This is how we need you to, It's just like, yeah, I can do that. It's more of the motions, being on set, and just expressing yourself.
Yeah.
That really stood out for me.
True.
What about you, Maria? What inspired you to go into modeling full time?
All right, I'd say passion. For you to be a model, you really need to have the passion. Most people try, but without passion, you really give up easily. So I started these quite young in primary, secondary, and after that, I remember I did a certificate in IT, and I was like, no, I don't like books, I'm sorry to say. But
Hey, you don't have to be sorry. It's okay. We all have our strengths.
I
Yes.
had to divert plus family issues and all that. They gave me the energy to, focus on what I wanted. So I got an opportunity to be part of the Mr. and Miss Westlands 2016. So that was, by that time we were living in the ghetto. That is Dandora. So I had to come from Dandora for 1 month to Kangemi for rehearsals. So the show was supposed to be due in August, and it was at the Michael Joseph Center. And it happened. It did happen. But after that, I actually won the first runners-up at Miss Westlands 2016. But there was no pay. They scammed us. So the whole time your mom is supporting you because you're from school and you're like, Mom, this is what I want to do. And yeah, she's paying for your transport. And at the end of it, I have nothing to give back to her.
Show for it.
So yeah, that was so heartbreaking because I was like, do I really need to do this? Because I'm so young, I've already been scammed. And I was like, yeah, I think that is more reason I should do it. So that is how I switched from pageant to high fashion real quick. And I don't know, like it's something like the universe just aligns with whatever you're focused to. And I got people, they helped me through. I started doing Mr. and Miss, I started doing, what is it called? There's a show in Westgate they used to host every other year. I got picked once, twice, thrice. And that is how I navigated into the industry. And every other time I'm on set, I feel alive.
Yeah.
Every other time, this is what brings my inner joy. So that is how I knew this is my calling and this is what I'm working with.
So during that period, you've been in it for 6 years.
Yeah.
You had a baby.
Yes.
How did that affect, being pregnant? Did you get jobs when you came back?
Yeah.
Was there a difference in the way, your booking of jobs, the way people view you now you're a mom?
Yeah.
Does that change?
So basically, that was so low key. I went pretty much low because I didn't want people to know. I was like, what if they know I'm too young? I'm still in my 20s, and people expect you to be married, of course, when you're getting babies. But at the end of it all, after having my baby, I don't know where I gained the confidence. Plus, I have a very supportive partner. He was like, you know what? This is more reason you should do it. I bounced back real quick. And since then, I'm booking more jobs than before.
Wow.
Yeah, of which I expected it to be more of a hassle because having a newborn and, this is a new world I'm not used to. I have to learn, I have to focus, I have to pour into this baby. And again, I have to pour into my modeling. I was like, I'm not going to do this. But that was more reason. Whenever I see my child, I'm like, no. I need more bookings.
I need more bookings,
yeah. But it is a really fun thing because I got to adjust and got back to it real quick. And immediately I started booking jobs.
Wow. Yeah, because when I met you, I think your baby was 4 months?
2 months.
It's actually, it was 2 months old.
It was your first booking, actually.
Oh, really? After coming back?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And thank God, I bounced back real quick. And that never affected my journey.
Because I remember everybody on set, even that time during the shoot, everybody going, wait, you have a 2-month-old?
Yes.
Like, how did this happen?
Oh, yeah.
So all of you have this passion for it. So you said you watch a lot of other runways, if it's, fashion show, other models. And since you've been doing it for years, have you seen the modeling agents? Is it evolving? Is it changing? Is it staying the same? Is there more diversity? We'll start with Makena.
Well, that is definitely a topic that needs to be discussed. That's a whole
other conversation
that's
on
a whole
its own.
conversation.
Okay.
So I would say the industry. I think I've been following more the industry, the international.
And I meant it like as a whole internationally.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say that it's definitely changing. There's definitely more inclusivity,
Yes.
but that doesn't mean there's not a lot more that needs to be done. So there's definitely a lot more inclusivity in terms of like Black women are more included into the runways. Different body types are more included into the runways and for the editor and for shoots and magazines. And I love that. But I think within the industry, it's very they focus on one thing and then run with it and then think. So, for example, for diversity, in terms of race and skin color, right now there are a lot of South Sudanese models, which I love. That makes me so happy. I love them seeing I love them getting their flowers. They deserve it. But then the industry sort of feels that if I just have that one dark-skinned model, then I've met my quota.
I've covered
and I'm good.
Yeah.
When you're not, and then these other bits of diversity that are not touched on. So yes, we're getting more plus size models, but then we're not getting height differences. Let's think about that.
No,
On
the
runways,
height is still the same.
Height is still the same.
Yeah.
And then certain people with different disabilities, for example, also deserve to be on runways in shoots and what they deserve to be there as well. And then age diversity as well. I mean, some brands are getting into that more where you see like sort of older women and older men in it. But why can't that be the norm as well? And I understand where designers want to bring forward their vision and they have this vision that they want to bring forward. But why is it that everyone's vision seems to be the same? That's my thing. I'm like, so that clearly means there's a problem somewhere because why is everyone's vision seem to be the same thing?
The same. And I think a lot of it is we actually now, in another podcast, we discuss body image and beauty standards. And I think a lot of it is because the beauty standards that do exist are still more Caucasian beauty standards.
Yes. And even when it comes to plus size models, this is one thing you notice quite much is that they may be plus size, but their face still looks as if someone, like if you just cut their face off,
you wouldn't actually realize they're plus.
So there's no diversity in that sense.
Being called plus size
it's
actually,
also,
sometimes it's smaller than average.
Yes.
The average woman.
Yes.
So plus size.
And plus size means
Size
smooth. You
4,
have
6.
not a drop of cellulite.
Right.
It still means you have the hips, but your waist is still in
And
whatever.
flat
It's not
stomach
just
and-
and you have like now a full figure 8. It's not necessarily
plus
a plus size for
yeah.
plus size women, which I think also definitely deserve to be seen as high fashion
Yeah.
because they're seen as commercial. You see it in the commercial industry and like online or like in what's it called, e-commerce. You'll see them in that,
Yeah. But not high,
in the
not
high
the runway,
fashion,
not high
not
fashion.
runway, which why not?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. So I think it's definitely we've made progress, but
There's
the
still
bit
a
smaller
lot of
progress
work.
should not
Yeah.
justify not making more progress, I think.
So, but can I know, like, last year you're in Milan, right?
Yes,
So
I
you've
was.
done high, international high fashion. Maria, you do a lot of work here with designers, like you just did Tribal Chic, and I loved it, by the way, because there was a representation of
Yes.
all kinds of models.
Yeah.
Are you seeing, is it changing here? Is it more inclusive? Are we more accepting? Because of course we have bigger hips and bigger, butts or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know if I
Yeah,
can
it's
say that.
true. I would say there's a lot of change compared to the past years and inclusivity, as you said. But again, there's still that focus on whatever Makena has said. Like, I don't want to mention other shows I've done. Most of the plus size models are not allowed to go to the runway because, they don't fit to be in the runway. And yet they say there's inclusivity. So I believe there's a segregation of a certain body type as much as there's inclusivity of them.
They still, yes.
There's
So it's
still-
almost like, okay, we're including, but this body still, you still have to look a certain
Exactly.
way.
You still have to look a certain way. Yeah, because I know others get dropped. I've been with other models that they had to get dropped because of their body. But then again, this is the industry we're here to work. But this is something that need to be talked about. Yeah. I feel like we're really hiding more of the darker scenes and showing we're changing, the industry is evolving, but a lot of dark scenes are still out there.
So Lisa, you as coming in, being the new one coming in, what have you found? What are your views on that?
Well, I feel like there's some sort of inclusivity, but are we really inclusive, guys? Like,
That's the
what do we term as inclusive?
Like we say we are inclusive, but
Like,
not
inclusive.
really.
Why?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's honestly, it's scary at the same time, because at this rate where we are, we don't have the same body types.
No.
Yeah.
Women, we all look different.
That's the whole point. You're bald, I'm bald. You have hair.
Same thing. Yeah.
So it's more of, we need to have inclusivity in terms of body types. If I'm bald, I don't have hair. That's how I choose to be.
Yeah.
And we need brands that actually are more diverse. Because I was even thinking about it last week. I was just like, do we have a bald company that actually produces products for the bald women? Because I'm seeing more women who are becoming bald.
We do that because it's really the same. Like like our hair brand, Mosara. We actually say your hair your way. Whatever you want to wear it.
Yeah.
You want to cut it, you want to, do you have a product? Because really, when you're bald, and you and I are bald, all you really care about is moisturizing your scalp because it's still part of your skin. Right, because we forget that. I think we forget scalp is your skin. So it still needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think one of the things that really, really is discouraging, especially in high fashion, even models with natural hair are made to cover it and maybe wear a wig or a wig. Is that still happening, Makena?
So that's now another thing. Having hair in the modeling industry is hard because your hair is mistreated. I don't think you understand. Like, you'll go for somewhere, they'll be blow drying it, like dry, no moisture, because they're like, especially like a runway, they're in a hurry. So we have 20 other models to be done. We don't care whether you need your heat protectors, you need whatever, slow, whatever. They're just there. They will blow dry it, they'll flat iron and whatever. So I think actually in the industry in Europe, especially if you're a black model, you either have your hair shaved in a small afro, whatever, especially if you have 4C hair. If you have like the curly hair, that's fine. You can have your curly fro, whatever. But if you have 4C hair, you either will have it like short down, or you have to do cornrows,
Yo.
It's not a choice. I remember when I was over there, people are like, "Oh, I love that you do these cornrows." I'm like, "No, it's not. No, it's not my choice. I just want to do this." They make you do that so that your hair is just out of the way. They don't have to
They don't
think
have to deal
about
with it.
doing your hair.
So they just put a
and
wig
then if
on
they
you.
want, they can put a wig, or you just have your cornrows and they don't have to think about doing your hair. So that's very common. I remember I did a shoot, and I remember they were doing credits on the, because it was me and a model who was white who actually got her hair done, whatever. So in the shoot, when they posted the credit, they put the credit of the hairstylist who was there, but all she did was spray sheen.
Spray sheen on your hair.
She just sprayed a sheen
But she's getting
on my hair, and I'm like, why are we giving her credit for doing my hair when there was nothing done? And like, it's literally the short. Like when I eventually opened my hair at some point, they're like, we need you to do cornrows again, like, because when you go to a shoot, more often than not, they don't have someone who knows how to do African hair, black hair.
Yeah.
Take care of it. So they just do the cornrows, so it's out of sight, out of mind, and it's out of your face. Not braids. No,
braids.
That's all up in your face, whatever.
Braids are off your face, out of your face.
Out of your face, and then if they want to, they can just throw a wig on top.
Wow.
So
Lots need to be done, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, we go back to the pretty face. You're pretty, you can take a picture. But if I've watched any modeling, casting and whatever, people coming in very pretty beautiful, but they don't make it as models. So what makes a model? Because I don't think it's just a pretty face. What is it, Lisa?
We're having this conversation earlier, actually. And we're just saying how we're here because we have the passion. Because probably there are models we don't know and they actually dropped out earlier because they're just like, I don't have the patience for this.
But you could have the passion.
Yeah.
But what do they say? The camera is not loving you. What does that mean, actually? The photo. I guess it's the photogenic. It's the attitude.
It's the
What
confidence
does
also.
it mean?
I feel like that also applies with let's say the brand. Are you bringing out the vision that they want?
I'm not actually talking here about the brand.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you have so
You
many.
as
Like
a
if you
model.
guys years ago, I don't know if you were born yet, since you're so young. Let's say we just for purpose of this discussion. American Next Top Model.
Oh, it was my favorite show.
Right?
Yeah.
They were this gorgeous women that sometimes didn't get the cut because they didn't take a pretty picture.
Yeah.
Even though they are if I'm looking at it as a layman, I'm like, she's gorgeous. She's
Why are you guys not seeing?
So why are you? What are they looking for, Maria?
I think it's more about skills. It's not only posing. You need to learn about the poses. There's so very many different poses that you need to deliver. If I'm going for a casting about hair, I need to do more of portfolio poses, like my face. I need to offer more than 5 or 6 pictures with different looks.
So what about when that photographer is taking the picture? So you still
The
have to keep
attitude.
moving and the attitude.
Yes, people really need to work about attitude, the attitude so much, and the skills. You need to know poses. If it's a full body pose, you need to know more about, a frontal,
H to T, head to toe.
Exactly,
Tara would
exactly.
say.
There's really more work on the poses and the attitude for you to
When
deliver.
it's a full body.
Yes.
Okay.
Even
Because literally you're managing your whole body to
Yes.
to
And you cannot
communicate something.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because I'm going for a casting, I need to deliver. This is why I need to be picked. I need to offer them more poses than the other models. Yes, I need to offer them more attitude. I need to speak with my eyes, my smile. Yes, exactly. You need to show everything in one photo or 2 photos. So it's more about skills and poses that people need to work on, of which I think these days people are not really looking into that, but some brands are still holding on to it.
To that.
Yes.
So we keep talking about attitude. Makena, what is this attitude? What does it mean? And how is it supposed to come off in a picture?
I think it comes off in the sense that while you're taking the picture, you know and you feel like, I'm killing this. I don't know how to describe it, and like having that energy.
So again, that belief in yourself.
Because even when I do shoots and I'm not really feeling it, when you're looking at the picture on the screen, you're just like, ooh, you can see it. You can see that
You
the
actually
eyes are
can
dead.
see it,
You
yeah.
can see that the eyes are dead. Like
Yes.
there's a difference. As soon as a camera comes on, I'm not looking at you like this. I'm not like this. I'm
Already.
Yeah.
like it's a whole different way. The way I'm looking at you, the way the eyes, the way your
Body language.
confidence, the body language.
Yeah.
And then also I think it's very important. What I do at least is I just imagine what it looks like from that end.
Yes.
What it's looking like from the camera's end. And I think that makes a difference in the posing. So for example, the camera is there. I wouldn't do my hand like this, because then it's just going to look cut off. It's not going to look whatever. So it's small things like that.
And those small things, and I say now as a brand owner, and also we do both. We use models for the shoots. You guys have seen the way they're up, and we use real women.
Yes.
And I laugh because we all laugh, even the real women, because me, when the photographer says, turn your head a little bit, basically I go like,
Yeah.
like, or
all the way,
or angle your body.
Yeah.
I turn my whole body or chin up.
Yeah.
I go like this. But you just like literally the slightest, the movement, it's barely visible.
But
you communicate with the photographer.
Yes.
Like,
do you learn those things? Are you taught? How does that happen?
Practice. I would say just looking in the mirror. People might think it's conceited or weird or whatever. I literally, especially if I'm like now I'm all done up, whatever, I will go to the mirror and move, like see what different movements look on me and on my body.
Small.
yeah. But
I'm usually in awe. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
How did they interpret that? What the photographer said to mean
Yeah.
that?
Because it's also like a dance. I would say when you move, it's like a dance. And the thing is, for example, if you see two people doing the same dance, it doesn't look the same.
No, it doesn't look the same.
It's the exact same steps, but it doesn't look the same because it's just a thing that, I don't know, you embody it,
Yeah.
So that's, and just, I think that's
look at also in for any newbie or upcoming model, use YouTube. I mean, it's free.
Pinterest as well.
Pinterest.
Poses, Pinterest.
Yeah, I normally, before I used to go when I know I don't have any bookings, I don't have anything to do, I go to YouTube. What is Naomi Campbell doing? Why is this show the most iconic of Naomi Campbell? Why did she walk like this? How did she walk? How did she pose? What is it that was so different from these other shows? So you really have to learn what she did, the smallest things. Oh, you have to walk this way, you have to turn 360, you have to turn half turn. So there's more of learning bits that we can really get from social media to really accentuate you as a model, especially in terms of delivering poses.
So basically, like any other career, even a 9-to-5 professional, self-improvement, keep learning.
Every other day.
That's how you better yourself.
Every other
So
day.
it's really the same thing. You have to approach it as, this is my career.
Yes.
If I'm going to excel and get better, then I have to invest in myself and keep learning.
That's it.
And
Even in
practice.
heels, walking in heels, you have to practice. Because the longer you stay, you might start stuttling on the runway.
And that actually is every woman.
It's every woman, right.
I'm a manufacturer now. In corporate America, I wore heels basically every day. Nowadays, they're rare. And every time sometimes if I'm gonna wear them and I haven't worn them for a while, I might just wear them around, like just even here, just back and forth.
Yeah, and you're
I don't want to embarrass myself and fall, which will probably happen anyway, but that's okay.
Yes.
So, Lisa, can you share an experience in your modeling industry that you felt, actually share two, all of you, we start with Lisa, a really good one and a really horrible one that made you feel like, oh, why am I doing this?
wow. I think we'll start with a horrible one. I just get done with it.
Okay.
We're not mentioning names.
No, we're not mentioning,
We're
no
not
names.
mentioning
No names.
So I remember when I was new in the industry, there was a casting manager who was looking for models, and I was part of the models who were part of his casting. And I just saw him as a person to look up to because he's been in the industry, so obviously you know everything, you know the bits and bobs. But unfortunately, I realized he was using us as models because it was a whole back and forth. It was more of, it's not comfortable as a woman, and it's not something that we talk about as women in the industry because you also have the males. When you're touched inappropriately or you're not.
Yes,
Not
girl
even
talk.
inappropriately, but don't touch me unless I've given you consent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even the slightest, even some adjustment, don't. It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable. As a woman, I feel like you live in your survival survival error sometimes, because you're just like, okay, I need to be on the lookout, and it wasn't comfortable. Like, I'd see how he'd handle the other models and that'd be okay, but I'm just like, no, I don't want
And
to
you
experience
didn't feel
it.
comfortable. You didn't feel safe.
And then I remember we had a back and forth with me trying to understand, how are you helping me as a model? Like, how am I growing my brand? I'm so young and I've just joined the industry, so how am I going to build it? Because there's no way you're going to be mentoring me and I'm not going anywhere, I'm not seeing anything, So it was a whole back and forth, and sadly, I really trusted that he'd actually help me like build, because when you're young, you're just like, I need people to actually hold my hand and walk with
Teach
me.
me. We go together.
So I remember it was a whole back and forth, and I remember my mom was just like, you need to let go.
Yeah, because a lot of women don't have that advice.
Like
Models,
and it's so beautiful, because you just need that one person to reassure you you're gonna be okay.
You're gonna be okay.
Just let go, you're gonna be okay. And actually letting go and just be like, okay, I need to let go, and everything will just align. Even if I'm not seeing what's gonna happen the next few months, I'm on the right track. And just letting go of the whole casting agency and just walking by myself and my mom and just the people who were around
Supporting
me.
you.
It was so scary, because I remember I cried at first, because just like, okay, I'm new to this, so
I hope this is not the way it is. Also, this is
I really trusted this guy, and it's so sad. This one person you trust is the one person who might take advantage of you. And I'm so happy, because I got pulled out as soon as we saw the red flags. You're like, nope, we're not gonna do this. No.
Yes.
So actually seeing that, and I left some models there, which was sad. But actually that was so sad, because it's till now I actually see it and I'm just like, no, somebody needs to tell this model, you're gonna be okay, darling. You're gonna be okay. You don't need this person who thinks they're holding on to your career, and if you let go, you're done.
You're done.
No, they have a life beyond you. And
Let me. I just want to go back to that one, because I think it's really, before you come back to the good experience, have you guys experienced that? Because I think it's really, really big in the modeling industry, and not just in Kenya, like everywhere.
Yes, actually, yes. I think what I saw a lot when I was in Milan was this thing where the head booker of the agency was this very attractive guy, old model, whatever. You could see that people they felt like they had to please him to be able to get the jobs. So this kind of thing where they felt like, oh, he's calling me, he's at this club and he has like a table, I have to go, and
So you feel this obligation to go, because then that's how you will advance.
And you can see in the industry, that's the way a lot of people advance. And you hear some stories about and you kind of see it, so you're just like, oh damn, this girl's really killing it, like what's happening? And then you hear the backstory, and then you're just like, that's so sad, I wish it didn't have to be that way. I feel she shouldn't feel the shame, because she's the one who's been forced into this, to feel that she has to do this to be able to make it. And and just also what you're saying about sometimes photographers, or like they'll just make a comment where you're just, and maybe you're already in a vulnerable position where maybe your outfit is like or maybe you're like in a jacket and you're not wearing anything
outfits,
under,
you're like,
doing something, and then you can just
sexualizing my body at this
and I don't need you to be, I already have 10 people looking at me now. I don't need you to be making me feel
yes. And what
like,
a lot see, we all see the pretty picture. What people do not see is how many people are actually there at that very moment.
You just see me, you're not seeing the rest of
looking at you in that whatever, and it's making you feel uncomfortable. It's an outfit, so the comment just makes things
just kills the vibe,
worse.
man. You just feel so uncomfortable now, and then you can't stop.
You can't just decide, okay, you guys, I'm leaving.
You can't do that, because then it's an industry killer. Well, I think I feel like sometimes if it got there, and I don't know if it's the right thing. This is me speaking as just me, because it's not my job. I don't know. Are there situations where you felt, even if it kills my career, for my integrity and self-esteem, and just for me to take care of me, I can't do this?
True.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in such a situation?
Well,
Maria?
I think for me, I would say Yes. When I came in the industry, I didn't know this normally happens. There was a time I was having a bit of trouble adjusting and progressing with my career because I learned that most of the jobs models are booking there from the sexual offers. So it was a bit, it was a hard pill to take in because I wasn't coming here for that. And then worst thing is nobody's speaking about it and people are comfortable with it. They have normalized
Are they
it.
comfortable, or has it just been normalized?
Yes,
that
they have
this is-
normalized
This is
it.
what happens.
This is what happens.
And
yeah.
what are the after effects? Because I can't think that women are leaving this industry and being okay afterwards with all of that.
The mental turmoil.
The mental turmoil.
Yes.
It makes you question your worth, like it's like unless I'm doing these sexual
Then I
favors, then I
can't.
can't. It makes you feel yeah.
But it takes a lot of effort for you to tell a photographer or, a manager, no. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not getting that job. That's it.
And
You're going to have to
a
work.
lot of you
Yes.
guys are so young.
Yes,
You
that is the
haven't even
thing.
come into your own to even as a woman, and you want to grow, and everyone else around seems to be doing it.
Yes.
You have your mom who just tells you,
No.
you don't need it. What about you, Makena? Who just gives you that? You don't need to do that.
Yeah, I would say also my mom.
Okay.
I feel like I didn't say it earlier. She is very supportive. I know it's like it's
No,
more
she
of the
is.
extended family.
Yes.
More like move on. But like my mom, dad, my sister,
Yeah,
they're
and I know
super
your mom, and
supportive.
I know she's very
Yeah,
supportive.
they're super
Yes.
supportive. But yeah, I think she just gives me the validation that you are good in the way you are. You don't have to
You
do all
are
of this
enough
extra
as a
thing.
woman.
You are
You're
enough.
beautiful. You're
Exactly.
good as a model. You can do
Yes.
this. You don't need all these extras.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. What about you, Maria?
I think I'd say the same. My mom and also my partner. Yeah, especially my partner. He's actually more bigger than me in the industry.
Okay.
So he knows the pros and cons. He's like, don't work with him. This, no, this, yes. Do this, the red card, no, don't underpay. Because without getting this guidance, even from other models, if you're seeking out knowledge, you will really end up being frustrated in the industry. So my mom really supports me. You don't have to do what you don't want to. If you feel like you don't do it. If it's not right with you, don't do it. You'll get another one,
Yeah. And if you desperately need the money right now, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than having to resort to
I think, Maria, having a partner that actually is in the industry and understands, I think that's also really.
Yeah, that's
really
another
big.
topic because that is one of the things I hated most. I was like, I'm never going to date a model. Because once I knew how the industry is, even the male models actually, it's very
'Cause it's the
dirty.
same, yeah.
It's very dirty out here. So I was like, you know what, mom? I used to share a lot with my mom. I'm never gonna date a model. But when one
you
thing
led to
led to the other.
Here we
But
are.
I thank God because the person I met is more aware and very smart of the industry, and is the kind of person who will tell you if you don't get bookings even for 5 months, just keep on working on yourself. There's only one that will come and cover all the other months, but you really don't have to do what you don't want to do. Yes. So also, I think we really need to give thanks to the people that hold our hands in the industry, especially as young models, as we are, because most of the people out here will want to take advantage of the upcoming models because most of us, let's say, they're not knowledgeable. People are not aware of what is happening.
so young.
Yeah, and a lot of us, even if you guys share with your moms, you're very close, but if let's say I went into the modeling industry, I'm way older than you guys. My mom would have been completely clueless. She
Yeah,
wouldn't
about
even
it.
understand what that is.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you even doing there?
Yeah.
You mean what? You're just gonna wear clothes and
You're
Then
passing
stand
on
out.
walk.
Exactly. So I commend your moms for being there. Thank you,
Shout out to moms.
for just supporting and guiding.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you can share, it means you won't be exploited because then you know you can go somewhere and share it with someone who cares.
Yes.
So Lisa, good experience.
Oh, there's so many. Oh my God.
Pick one that's actually really good. Yeah, that really stands out.
I feel like what stands out for this, it's not even the pay, but just the vision. It was so new to me. It was working with a furniture brand. They don't, it's a Kenyan, it's based in Kenya, but they don't source from Kenya. And they had a campaign about inclusivity. And it was so funny because I applied for it.
I know.
I applied for it. I was just like, oh, you know what? Let me just go about my day. If they call me back, that's okay. And they did call me back. And now, actually, being part of the campaign and being with these other models was so diverse. I was bald. Another model had vitiligo.
Wow.
It was
wow.
a lot of
So
diversity,
the
and
inclusivity and
you're not used to
diversity.
this because you're used to you're tall,
You're skinny.
you're skinny, you're brown.
You're-
You know
yeah.
the whole you're similar, if I may
Oh,
call it.
yeah.
But this was so different. I was just like, wow, like I'm seeing your vision.
That's powerful.
Yeah, and
They
then
really went out to include.
Yeah.
they actually called out,
Inclusivity, yes.
you know?
Mhm.
And it was so beautiful because, first of all, working with a furniture brand that was inclusive, not just wanting you to just sit beside
the table
Show
and look beautiful.
No, it was more of, we need you to blend while you're on set.
Wow.
So that even you, when you're seeing the post, you're just like,
I want that
I
because
want that,
it
not
looks
'cause-
real. Yes.
because how they brought out the
because
message.
it communicates.
Exactly.
It speaks to me as a person buying it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really, I felt like a warm hug. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
I love
You
it.
rarely hear those in modeling. Yeah.
And let me add one more. I worked recently with an all-women brand. From everyone I was communicating with, they're all women. And being on set with them was just so warm because they were really cheering me up. And the mood was so correct because I'm so used to being with some men on set, women, but this was just women.
All women.
From the photographer, videographer, the
Everyone.
whole team. And I was just like,
Nothing against the men.
nothing, guys. And I was just like, this is so beautiful. I feel safe. I feel good. Like I don't have to like shy away or like I feel comfortable. And I was just like, this brand is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing.
So brands need to
Listen up.
lessen up. You, Makena, good experience, bad experience.
Okay, so I'll start with the bad. Like you said, get it out of the way. There's an agency that's around in Kenya where, having worked with them a few times, you know when you leave the practice or the weather just feeling terrible. You just feel so drained, so mentally, physically. Because she was just someone who, you know, when someone just never says any nice thing, nothing validating, nothing positive. Everything is you're walking wrong. What the hell is that walk? That's terrible. Suck in your stomach. This or that, that or that.
What stomach are you sucking in? You guys have no stomach.
Yeah, and it's just so draining. And then I remember one of the most frustrating things is that the way they work is based on the fear. They expect, so for example, when it came to payment, I'll be there with all the other models and then they'll come up to me because I ain't scared of nobody. My mom is scary enough, so yeah, I've learned how to deal with it.
You have experience.
Yeah, I've experience. So everyone needs to go to be like, not Makena, please can you ask them how much we're being paid? Like when are we being paid? Like can you go and ask? And then I will go and ask. And then I remember one time I asked after I'd done the job and she screamed at me. She was just like, I hate it. You models, all you care about is your money. I don't know. You've just done the job and then you're just
Of course I
asking me
care
about
about
the
my money.
You're asking me about the money. I don't know what. And then I was just like, yeah, because this is my job.
This is my
I'm trying to
job.
plan, like, am I going to be paid 5,000 shillings in a month? Am I going to be paid 10,000 in a week? Am I going to be
What
paid
is it?
1,000 in 3 months? Like, just at least so I can know, I can plan myself. So I just remember the vibes were just always so bad and you could feel it on everyone.
Yeah.
And I
So it's
remember
that
they
set you
worked-
go to and you're just like,
yeah,
the drug.
and they just work on fear. Like no one will speak up. Like everything will be terrible, but everyone's too scared to say anything. So I remember that, and that's a common thing you have, especially with the modeling, the whole pay thing, where they're very sketchy and very
come back to
about the
that
pay.
because
We'll
of-
come back to that 'cause
yeah.
that's very important.
It's very important.
And then I would say really good experience was when I was in Milan. It was honestly just for a casting. Oh, okay. Also, the job thing was really nice. I got called to do something for Fendi. But it was for internal usage. Like it wasn't. But I remember. No, I remember when I got, and it was the first job I got. And I remember I got that email like hey, we got this thing for Fendi tomorrow. You're going to go on the train to Rome tomorrow. These are the details. And I was in the street and I just broke down crying. I was just like, I don't care if it's for internal usage. Fendi knows my name.
Yeah,
They
Fendi
know
knows your
Makena.
name.
They
Yeah.
know Makena in herself.
cute.
And I just remember weeping, just crying. And then because also my modeling journey, it has been really hard to be able to get there in Milan with a lot of rejections. The same things I was saying, height,
Height,
skin,
yes.
age, all the things. So I remember just crying. And then when I went over there, the experience was just, when you feel respected, the thing I was saying. So for example, they got us a first class
Even
train ticket.
as big as it's Fendi.
Small thing.
But
Yeah,
you felt
still,
respect.
you felt respect.
No, that's what I'm saying. You felt respect.
Yes. And then went to the and then we actually did, it was at the Fendi headquarters. So I just remember going there and just standing in front of the building and just being like, I can't believe this is so validating that it's finally happened. It's been 3 years of trying to get here. And it's finally happened. And I was at the headquarters. I remember I even took a picture of the card, guest at Fendi, whatever. Then they have like a thing, hashtag Fendi HQ. I was taking pictures. I'm like, everyone needs to know I am here. I'm here.
Celebrate everywhere.
Yeah. So that was just a very validating experience that it's been many years, even though it's internal usage, whatever, it's a video that they sent to all of the stores worldwide. So I was like, listen, someone out there knows. They know
Makena.
my face. They know my face, and I don't care if it's not going to go anywhere. They know me, and it's been such a journey, and I can't believe I'm here. So like literally after the first day we did, I just went and just cried in the hotel room. Like I was just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe this has finally happened. Yeah. So I would say that was probably the one moment where I was like, oh my God.
Beautiful.
Like, oh my God. Yeah.
By the way, that's so huge.
I know. And then everyone was just telling me, like, why are you so excited? It's just like literally an internal way. And I was like, girl, you let me be happy. You don't know what I've gone through to get here.
Yeah.
So yes, I would say that was the best experience I had.
What about you, Maria?
For me, let's start with the worst. I think, being scammed as a beginner model, because I was really looking up to that money. And of course I won. But they scammed us. So that was a very big loss for me. Then the second one, I had an experience with a photographer whom I had pitched to, and he came out sexually to me, basically on phone. After telling him, because he asked questions, so when are we going to shoot? I'm comfortable with this day. Are you dating? I said, yes. Okay, and then he went on and did the thing, and, I felt offended. I feel like that's one of the worst experiences. I don't like experiencing such, because once I tell you this is my stand, let's go on with the job that we're supposed to do. So I feel like as a woman, that is the biggest thing I would say we are facing, and that is one of the saddest things I've experienced.
Okay. The best?
Yeah. The best, I did back then when I was actually beginning, I did a complimentary shoot. That is more of a collaborative shoot with a very big photographer. And that was it. That basically means no pay, no nothing. He gains, I gain. So a year after, he calls me and tells me that the project that we did was sold abroad to a certain company. So I'm supposed to get a certain amount of money. So I was really excited because I never saw that coming. And I would say that was one of the lowest points in my life. I don't know what was really happening, but the news came in so big. And now my project is somewhere abroad, a very big company, I would say. So that was my happiest. Yeah.
That's amazing. So we're going to talk about, again, it's a job, money. I've heard this conversations around that, you've talked about being scammed. Yeah. You've talked about you don't even know how much you're getting paid. Or I've heard where people say, you're not getting paid, you're coming in for exposure.
Yo.
Yeah.
So how do you navigate money and your self-worth, or what you're worth, and your rate card? And I think, Maria, we had this conversation.
Yes.
When you first came on board. And I think because you were just getting back on, you asked me a question when we met. We hadn't discussed money.
Yeah.
I discussed money right up front. If you noticed, Lisa, when I talked to you and I asked you, send me your rate card. Yeah. And I'll come back to that, why I do that as a brand. And Maria, you asked me a question. You asked me, what is your budget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told you, no, don't. I hate that question as a brand. And this is why. What does my budget have to do with your worth? My budget is my budget.
Yeah.
So what if I tell you I have 1,000 shillings?
Yeah.
That's my budget.
Yeah.
Right? Is that your worth?
No.
So, and I think, Maria, you were like, oh, wow.
What? Yeah, that's so challenging.
Yes. And I think part of it comes from this space of you tell a brand you rate, words I hate, and not just even me as a person who has a brand and has product. People come back and say it's too expensive.
Yes.
Based on what, first of all? And what I told you is I will decline and say, I can't afford you right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not, you're too expensive, because that's your worth.
That's your worth. Yeah.
Period.
I just can't afford you.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's a difference. Yeah.
How do you guys navigate that when you send your rate card and people come back and tell you it's too expensive? Lisa?
Wow. Wow, guys.
I know, right?
This topic right here.
We're talking about it.
Damn. It's a broad topic, because what you've said, we usually ask you, what's your budget? And most of the time why we ask you, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the time why we ask you what your budget is sometimes brands underpay you.
But I will probably never tell you what my actual budget is anyway. Because a lot of us still, not me, I do, and I consult. It's a little bit, and I come at it from that, because I'm in finance, I'm still a new business. Every now I have a rate, I have a consultancy rate. So, because they'll probably not tell you what their real budget is.
Okay, most of the time some brands do, and what you can do also is you pitch your rate. And then from there, you can either negotiate or they're willing to pay.
Actually, I like that one better, where you're like, okay, so what is your rate? And then you decide if that's a rate you want to work with or not. Right? Because like I said, if I tell you my budget is 5,000 shillings, then what do we do?
And it's actually what you've said about we can negotiate, you know? Because what we get to see is models being, quote unquote, misused when it comes to the rates.
And it's because they are coming back down to their pitch. So usually as a brand owner, and this is to other brand owners, what I'll go back with is, we can't afford this at this time. And I'll say, maybe next time.
Next time.
Yeah, and literally the model will come back and go, what were you working with? What can you pay? And I'll be honest. I'll be like, this. And if they're okay with that, that's their choice. But it's not, because there's something I hate about, you're too expensive. They've just devalued
Devalued.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've just been devalued.
It's like you don't know your worth. Why are you charging me?
Exactly. It's like you're not worth what you're charging me.
But I know why I'm charging you that.
Exactly.
And if you can't reach the bar, then that's okay. There's somebody else who actually, you know?
Yeah. So what about you, Makena? How do you negotiate that when somebody comes back and tells you you're too expensive?
So I think there's something that we were actually talking about earlier, is that as models, I think we need to talk to each other more about what our rates are, what is a good rate, because it's something that's so out, you can't look it up. You know, like
No, you
other
can't
jobs,
look it up.
yes,
Other
I
jobs, you
look
can
up
go
what
and
is
like
the
rate,
normal
like
pay for a assistant manager. What is the normal salary rate for this? There's nothing you can look up, so it's kind of just up in the air. So you never know, like what is the right amount. Like, I know I'm worth a lot. I know I'm definitely expensive in a good way. But what is expensive? You know, what is
expensive is a very relative term.
Yeah, exactly.
Expensive
So
to whom?
out there.
To whom?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think definitely as models, we need to talk to each other more, like openly, just be like, yo, I worked with this brand and I gave my rate card as 30,000. So you know that, hey, actually, you mean I can get paid 30,000 for a job? Like, you know, you might never know.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of models out there who, it's just so difficult, because especially pitching your worth and your rate, because sometimes you feel so scared to give your full rates, because you're like, they're just going to say, oh, it's too much, and then they'll just find someone cheaper, because they can always find somebody who will take it for less.
Right.
So it's always just such a thing where you're like, gosh, I know my worth. I know I should be charging this much. But if I say this much, will they cut it down? And then the other worst part is when brands and whatever say they'll pay you using barter. There's nothing I hate more than that. They'll say, we'll give you this product for free. We'll give you a free night here, whatever. I'm just like, no, because I can't put fuel in my car with your t-shirt.
Yes.
You know, and I didn't want a shirt anyways. You know, I didn't want to get a shirt anyways. You know, so I'm gaining nothing.
And if I want a shirt, I'll go get one I like.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
I don't necessarily want to buy from your brand. Like, sorry, you know, and then they'll be like, oh, but you know, our dresses are worth 20,000. And I'm like, okay, so give me the money you get from the sale of the dress.
Of the dress.
One dress, you know? So it's a very difficult thing to navigate, and definitely in the industry, people don't want to talk about it, and brands and whatever, they seem to get angry when the models ask and are like, please, can you tell me, can you pay me? And they never pay on time. That's the other thing. Paying on time. They'll be like, listen, the payments will be in by December 15th. Then you get them January 30th or something. And then it makes it so difficult for us to like plan our lives, because you just don't know where what the money's gonna come, and sometimes they don't tell you how much until after you've done the job.
So that is a question. You mentioned it, and I was so curious. I'm actually very curious right now, because I'm like, wait, so I'm gonna go do a job, but I have no one told me how much I'm getting paid. How does that work exactly?
You know, I guess they really bank on the fact that you're kind of desperate to get to do something and get at least anything. So you kind of are just like, I really, even if it's just 5,000, I need that 5,000 now. So you're just like, fine, I'll just do it, and then you pay, and they'll pay later.
So there's no contract. There's nothing.
A lot of places don't do contract, and actually that's one thing this year. I'm saying contract only. Standing on business contract only, because a lot of places don't do the
because
contract.
that's the thing. Like, if you can't do a shoot with us and we didn't tell you how much, we have no contract, you have no recourse.
No job security.
You actually, you have no recourse. You can't even go to court because you have nothing to show. You have no recourse, like none.
Nothing.
So for you, Maria, how do you negotiate that? You're too expensive.
Actually, I've had that a lot, especially this year, because yearly we models know that you have to revise your rates every year. So basically, before answering that, I'd go to the fact that models are living on survival mode. That's why everybody's banking on being paid less, because they need to pay their bills. So everybody's vouching for whatever is coming. Nobody is having the energy and the boldness to stand and say, this is what I want, because they know, the landlord is expecting rent. So whatever they give me, this is what I'm going to use. But now, once you really know your worth, if you can really navigate through that, you work with your rate card. If you're really too expensive, you just decline the job. It's fine, thank you. All the best, hoping to work with you in future. Yeah.
Just like it's really just like any other job. Even if I was going to go for an interview and the money didn't work, I'm not going to take it.
Exactly.
And I think as brands should look at it like that.
The investment the model has also put in herself.
Yes.
That's why you're picking me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's why I'm picked. That's why I called you and I called you and I called you, because there's something I needed you to bring and communicate. Because like, again, as a brand, what I'm looking you to do is communicate a message that is my brand.
This is your brand, yes.
And if you're not happy with what you're getting paid, this is what we don't realize. It actually won't come off as best as it should. I laughed the last time we were doing a shoot, all of us. I had a new person and they were like, why, you even get food? I'm like, yeah.
I was like, we have juice? Like, that's crazy.
It's really
and
hard.
Variety. Or like I did a show where they said the runway show, we're meant to be there from like 8 a.m. till like the nighttime. And they said they'll give us breakfast and everything. And then they just gave us like a bread bun, and half a cup of juice.
Oh, wow.
The whole day.
And then, and then the next meal comes maybe at 6, 7. And you're just like, Yeah, and sometimes there's just nothing, no water, and you're somewhere where you can't access. There's no shop
There's
nearby.
no
where you
shop
can access.
nearby.
I can't be
Yeah.
like, oh, let me just quickly go and get
So
a
sad.
smoky or whatever. Let me get some water. There's nothing around, so you're just stuck there, just hungry. People
First,
were there.
it takes longer to even, and you can usually see it. Usually, if you see me do a break, is because you start seeing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can start seeing the fatigue.
fatigue is kicking
You can start doing the, like, again, we're all human. Hungry. You know, you're hungry and
You're hungry,
it's like getting angry.
Yeah, exactly.
The take is taking way longer, just even to get one look going.
Yes.
And I don't think that means it's taking longer for everybody,
everybody,
who
true.
is on that set.
Yeah.
Yes. So, hey, again, brands.
Brands,
Please. Food. And it doesn't take that much.
No, it
like
doesn't.
food, water.
Just
So
budget it.
just, budget it in and put it as part of the whole cost of the shoot. Yeah. So somebody who is listening to you guys right now and is aspiring and wants to be a model, how would you advise they go about it? We'll start with Makena and then we'll do.
So I would say do research on the industry first and know what type of modeling you want to do. Because as we said, there's so many different things. There's some models who are great in the photo shoot and amazing, but cannot do a runway. And they know I'm not going to do runway. I can't do that. And that's okay. You just need to know what your niche is, what you like doing, what you're good at, what works for you, and go into that. So that's what I would say first. Second, I would say go into it if you have a passion for it. It's
Just
not,
like everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they say
Yeah.
even in business, don't
in
go into it
business.
if you don't have a passion.
Yes. But definitely with it, like the rejection, the comments, the everything, it will just not be worth it if you're not passionate or you really enjoy it. And then the last thing.
What about, is that model cattiness? Is that something that you experience? Just models not being nice to each other? Does that happen?
I've noticed sometimes you have some, but I would say the majority of the time the models seem to be nice, but there's every once in a while where I have that one where I'm like, oh, why are you so whatever. But I would say usually it's quite nice. And the last thing I would say is that love yourself first
That is
before you get into this industry. Because it can break you if you're not. Love yourself first. And actually, final thing, very important. I personally feel that models, especially if you're doing it internationally, should not be 16 years old, 17. No. I personally think go to university, do that, and then get into it. Because I know, and also when you're so young, it can break you. The first photo shoot I had in Milan, I was working with this girl who was 16, who's just come from a small town, first time in Europe, whatever, 16 years old. She has to go back home to do online classes for high school, not even university online classes.
Yeah.
And the first shoot, she had a panic attack and fainted and was crying and shaking because it was also her first shoot. And I'm just like, because you're standing there, there are 10, 15 people standing around you being like, come on, darling, come on. You can't pose like that. Come on, darling. Come on, pull it together. Like, we need more poses. Like, and then if you don't bring it together, we're going to replace you for tomorrow. So, like, when you're at 16, even I would have passed out.
Even I at 49, I'll be like, well,
I would have passed out.
What? I know.
So I just think get a good base, and also the other issues that if you've not, especially university, I think is super important. I personally really advocate for that. Once you finish with the modeling industry, because unfortunately, there's a time limit. Unfortunately, unless you're Naomi Campbell, you become one of the bigs. Once you reach a certain age, you're gonna have to leave it. And now, once you've been living this life of the modeling, whatever, imagine having to go back to school then. When you've been living this life of traveling, whatever, doing this, it is so difficult to go back. And unfortunately, the way the world is right now, you can't do a lot with just the university. I mean, with just high school.
Just high school, exactly.
Yes, you can. I'm sure there's a lot of arts things you can, but you make your life so much harder.
Yeah.
So that's just one of the things I advocate for. And then, as I said, number one, love yourself first. Love yourself and be proud and confident in yourself. But love yourself first before you get into it.
What about you, Maria? What advice would you give a young lady
an upcoming model. So basically, you need to do research on the industry. It's a very big industry. You need to know what will work for you and what you can deliver and what you can't do. Secondly, you need to work on yourself because you are your own brand. You are you are the only one selling
You're the
yourself.
brand.
You're the brand.
You're
Yes, you need to really work on yourself day in, day out, in good days, in bad. You need to do anything and everything that will make a difference in a day.
Yeah.
So basically, work on yourself and then learn how to say no.
Oh,
If
that's
you're
so
not
real.
comfortable
That
with
is
anything, say no. If it doesn't work for you, say no. It's not about the money, it's your value. You as a woman, you as a man as well. Learn how to say no. Lastly, just be confident and kick ass.
Awesome. What about you, Lisa?
Well, I
And
won't
especially the
repeat.
youngest now coming into the industry.
I'm the youngest, right?
Yeah, you're the newest.
Yeah, so what I tell you is own your journey. What I mean by owning your journey is I realized I got this question recently. Who do you look up to in the industry? And I don't look up to anyone.
You own your own journey.
I own my own journey because as much as I'd say I look up to this model, I don't look up to them. I just hope we'll find each other on the way and just work together and get to just discover and be adventurous in the industry. Own your journey and find your tribe and share your dream.
Yeah.
Because when you find your tribe, they will understand your dream and they'll support you throughout the whole way. Your friends, your family, it can be your friends or your family. It doesn't have to be your family. If they don't understand, they'll just catch up.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, this is what
you were doing.
I get it now. You know? So just get your tribe that will actually work with you and understand your journey and just express how you feel. Don't gatekeep. Because it doesn't help.
No.
When you find your fellow model, ask them, hi, so I've been working with this brand. Just do you have any experience, past experience, you know? No, have this conversation. It really helps a lot. You know, and if you find that your fellow model or the model you're talking to doesn't want to share, it's okay. Another model is willing to give you the information.
Yeah.
So if that one doesn't want to share it, ask
Seek
someone
knowledge
else.
from the
Yeah,
other
why
one.
should I keep information from you?
Yeah.
You know, it may protect you or help you. Either way, we are here together, you
all
know?
here together.
We need each other. So yeah, own your tribe, and also own your journey. And I just wish you all the best. And just be gentle on yourself because this industry can be a bit tough. So don't have a really tough skin on you because you're not worth it. Just be soft and just take it in.
Yeah.
You know, cry when you're emotional. Be happy. It's all part of the journey, and this is the journey. It doesn't have a final destination. This is it.
This is it.
Like
True.
you're just growing.
There is
and
no
growing.
destination,
There's
it's
no
a journey.
destination, yeah. So I just wish you all the best and just enjoy each and every bit of it.
So you guys went to it a little bit differently. So I grew up in the village. So I grew up in a place called Kirima in Nakuru. And I'm just going to use that as and I've come to Nairobi for the first time as, I'm 18 years old and I'm walking these Nairobi streets. I'm in Westland and somebody comes up to me and says, you should be a model. I think you should come start modeling. Because a lot of girls end up in that.
Yeah.
What would you advise this girl says? What's your advice? Somebody just approached her in a restaurant, in the supermarket, and I can make your modeling career. What is the first thing, one thing, all of you, that you would tell her to look into and just not go yet? Could be real,
Could be real,
could
not.
not be real.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what is that? Because it's exciting.
It is, yeah.
is.
Especially
It is
for a
fun.
new
Like
person from the village.
You saw me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty. You think I can do this?
Yes.
What? Yeah.
So just few things you would tell them to look out for.
Do some research on that person and make sure they're legit something and don't be scared to ask questions, to ask someone else about them.
Yeah.
So even a lot of these reputable agencies will have a warning on their page, like beware of fake whatever.
So you
If
can even go to an
this-
agency page and just
Yes,
kind of look
go-
it up.
They even say send us an email if someone reaches out to you, send it. You just send them an email, be like, hey, is this person part of your whatever? Like, are they legit?
Yeah.
You know, and they won't think twice because they know there are a lot of people out there scamming and being like this.
Yeah.
And then also, I would say if someone is saying, especially, I will make your career, take that with a grain of salt. I think, because
no one actually has the
no one has the
potential
power
to make your career.
Yes.
Only you have.
they can
only
help.
you have.
They can
They
help.
just
You
help.
guide
They can
it
get
and
you
help.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're not
Yes,
owning
but
them.
not So and just be so careful because there are very many scammers out there who are looking for young, pretty girls.
Girls especially.
True.
Take advantage of.
And they are very vulnerable. They're very.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
They haven't actually experienced and very trusting.
It's
Yes.
true. That's the other thing.
Yes,
Yeah, very
because like, look, if I've come from the village, everybody, I trust everyone. It's
Everyone
good.
had
I've
been
never
good
experienced
buddies.
this kind of
Good
thing.
luck for me. Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you so much, ladies. Like I said, I learned so much from you every day. Remember, I'm Gen X. And I'm so logical. I'm a finance person. Just coming into the beauty space, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. I'm in awe. So thank you for gracing us with your presence and being so open to share your journey and teaching us quite a lot.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you so much for listening and watching. I am sure you've learned a lot. I did tell you they were beautiful. Not just outward, but also beautiful brains. If you're watching and know someone who wants to become a model and have some questions, please comment below. I'm sure they will all be happy to answer the questions. If you're an aspiring model and you're wondering how to navigate, I know how to get a hold of them. They will answer your questions. If you're a parent whose son or daughter is looking to go into the industry and wants to know more about how to navigate, how to guide your child, do comment below. We are not promising we will have all the answers, but let's start the conversation. If you'd like to hear more of this, subscribe. Let us have this conversation to achieve our limitless selves. Be limitless.